damn it, what is this tag called? Salutations! Welcome to Loving the Language of Literacy. My name is Sophia Lee, and today I'll be doing the Springtime Beauty book tag. I'm doing this tag today because I saw Maureen of Maureen Kiwi do it over on her channel, and it was originally created by Novels and Nonsense, which I should have expected based off of the awesomeness of the questions. My very first tag on this channel was the Fall Time Cozy Time book tag, which everyone did last year, and I've just, gotta jump on the bandwagon for the spring one. Okay, so I find this really funny that whenever I do a Novels and Nonsense book tag, I'm always in a location where their season does not actually coincide with the tag. For example, when I did the Fall Time Cozy Time book tag, it was 80 freaking degrees outside when everyone else was just talking about the pumpkin spice lattes and curling up by the fire. Meanwhile, I'm here in Syracuse, New York, where it is currently, I believe, freezing outside and nowhere near spring, though it has gotten up to 50 degrees last week. Just wanted to put that out there that the seasons don't always agree. Anyways, let's get started with the actual tag. Question number 1, Spring Sun. The days are getting longer and the sun is starting to rise. Name a book that fills you with hope. I've mentioned this series multiple times in many book tags and videos, and it is my second favorite middle grade series of all freaking time. And of course, that is The Mysterious Men of Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. As I have explained in so many videos, my mom read aloud the entire trilogy to me when I was little, and I would always beg her to read just one more chapter. Because if you've read these, you'll know that these are extremely suspenseful, and they're designed to make you just want to keep reading and reading and reading. The reason I'm filled with hope is because these middle grade novels are just so inspiring, and they were really empowering to me when I was the age of these characters, and even now at this current age I'm at. Question number 2, Crocuses and Tulips. Spring flowers are starting to sprout everywhere. Name an author or series you just discovered that you want to start or read more from. I read I'll Meet You There by Heather Demetrios in the month of February, and I absolutely loved it. It's been hyped up so much on Twitter and mostly on the blogging community, not so much on the BookTube one, but it'll come. And I understand completely why there is so much hype surrounding it. It was just a perfect contemporary novel that just had the elements of such a good, hard-hitting romance with these very deep and developed characters that had such storied paths. It was just wonderful to see the relationship that molded into a friendship that molded into something so much more between the two characters. And Heather Demetrios actually has 2 other books currently out, which I am dying to read, and they are Something Real and Exquisite Captive. Exquisite Captive came out in fall time of last year, and it follows, I believe, some sort of genie and just being bound to the lamp. I believe, I could be totally wrong, but it's some sort of in the Middle Eastern kind of setting. Something Real is about a family that was on reality TV for several years, and the TV show finally stopped, so they're trying to just ground themselves and find out what to do with their lives. And both of these books sound really cool on their own, but because they're by Heather Demetrios, I most definitely want to check them out. Question number 3, A Cool Breeze. The days are getting warmer, but are still nice and cool. Name a character that was like a breath of fresh air. I'm not sure there are any other characters like this in the entire bookish world, and I've cheated for this question. I'm picking 2, and they are Violet and Finch from All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. It's a social issue realistic fiction novel following 2 depressed, suicidal teenagers that are really just trying to cope with loss and grief and just so many things that are just more than what regularly happens to you in life. And they deal with it beautifully, and they have such fresh new voices, and I would just read so many other books if Jennifer Niven would write them from the point of view of these 2 characters, because they provided such insight to the overall world and life in general that I would sincerely like to read in more novels. Question number 4, Blossoming Trees. All the trees are bursting with spring colors. Show some book covers that remind you of spring. Basically, any book cover with the hipster font is one that I will most definitely think is springtime, and just with light pastel-ish kind of colors. And those kinds of books that remind me of spring are Say What You Will by Cami McGovern. I read this back in December. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. And then there is The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. I read this in September of last year. Love the symbolism of the roller coaster for the entire novel, and just the feel you get from the cover Then there is Anatomy of a Misfit, which has a very similar font actually, and it's very simplistic and stylistic, and I adore that cover. And then we have Simon and the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, which is coming out next month. The cover looks amazing, the book looks amazing, and I just need to get my hands on it. Question number 5. T-shirts and shorts. With warmer weather comes cooler clothing. What is your favorite shortest book? My favorite shortest book was my favorite of the entire year of 2014, and that is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I absolutely adore the novel. I love the story behind it and just the way that Neil Gaiman crafted in around 175 pages such a complex, rich, imaginative world that leaves you in this kind of lucid feeling of, are we in the real world or are we in a fantastical one? And I just love it. Question number 6. Spring is the time for new beginnings. What series are you planning on starting this year? There are quite a lot of series that I would like to start in 2015, and the number 1 is, of course, A Court in Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Favorite high fantasy author of all time, obviously. I love the entire Throne of Glass series, and I'm dying to see what she does with this Beauty and the Beast meets Fae retelling. Some other series that I'd love to try out are Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, Unearthly by Cynthia Hand, Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, and The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. Question number 7. Springtime beauty. What are some of your favorite spring flowers? To be honest, I don't know names of any flowers, but what I do love are taking pictures of flowers. So I'm just going to insert a little mini montage of pictures I've taken of flowers around Southern California, because obviously in Syracuse there ain't no flowers. Anyways, I'll link in the down bar who I tagged for this video because, of course, no research was done prior. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. Keep calm, read on, and I will see you soon. Goodbye!